So after talking a lot about data mapping, I think we should discuss how should we integrate them with privacy enhancements or assessments. Because mapping is the start point and assessment is a regular ongoing activity. And the efficiency of assessment has a lot to do with how you start with, right? Start point is very important always. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, let's talk about how to get it integrated with privacy impact assessment. Data mapping, as we have been talking about, a process to identify, to categorize and track what personal information are we collecting and how is it moving across our organization. Collecting, storing, sharing with third parties, deleting, and actually processing are the 5 processes that Indian DPDP Act defines as a part of the data privacy handling processes, right? And what is privacy impact assessment? Privacy impact assessment is to see how these processes and how does data impacts a privacy subject. For example, data subject rights, for example, consents, for example, notices, right? What happens if there's an incident or a breach, right? So to avoid any issues there, you do an assessment of your system. And how do you do that? You control your data. So let's try and map the two and find a relationship between the two. Why is it important to integrate them? Of course, you enhance the visibility of the data through data mapping. And if you put in good diagrams on data mapping, you make it easier for assessment doers to do the assessments. Regulatory compliance becomes easier. You ensure lawful processing and you ensure that you are able to answer to data subject rights more promptly. You know where the data is, right? You reduce the risk by mitigating risk. That example of a lot of data lying for many years, it's a vulnerable situation. It can get breached. You do an assessment, you do a data mapping of your data before privacy assessment. We are talking of mapping here, and you come to know of that, right? And while assessment, you put in that, okay, this is my risk area and I put in better security here. Even if I can't delete, mapping can help you guide and say, okay, delete it. But even if you can't delete, assessment will come in and say, this is not secure, please make it secure. This is a vulnerability point, right? And the better information you have your own data, it would become easier for you to do privacy impact assessments, and they would be more efficient and much more accurate in all terms. So from a PIA mapping point of view, first of all, you do scoping of the assessment. Scoping helps you identify the processes, the systems, and the stakeholders that are involved in handling data in your organization. Then you identify the entire workflows. Well, that's what mapping does. It helps you visualize the journey of data from collection point to destruction point, to third-party transfer, to cross-border transfer. Assessment of privacy risk, as I gave you in one example, and there could be a lot of vulnerabilities, a lot of them uncovered. Because what we are saying is that we are trying to identify what data we have. So if you have not yet even identified before mapping, then there are chances that the data is lying unattended. Evaluate legal compliance, confirm whether the data flow aligns with regulations. That's an assessment job. And flow is created from mapping. Implement controls. Again, mapping done. Oh, this is not secure. Let me make it more secure. I might be required to buy another firewall. Maybe upgrade my firewall, right? So handle it accordingly. Put in this required safeguards. This is there for last 20 years, not very important, but has to be there. I make sure that I control it. I'm not too sure whether data is important. I just take a copy of the backup and let the primary copy go off so that if required, I'll recover from backups. Now, there could be any strategy depending on how you categorize that data for yourself. And that would happen if you have proper data mapping. Reviewing and updating, it's a part of any job, including assessments, including data mapping. So what are the benefits of integrating mapping with privacy impact assessments? Proactive mitigation, you identify the risks, you mitigate the risk before they escalate and create problems for you. A streamlined compliance, you are easily able to demonstrate compliance with regulators. That increases their confidence also, right? That you do work, you are serious about your work. Your governance would improve because you know your data better and you can apply the governance model like security, role-based access, integrity, encryption, anonymization, right? And availability, backups. We talked about all these 3 examples in the previous slide. And then, of course, if you do all that, your stakeholders would have more confidence on you. With stakeholders, it does not only mean the owners or the promoters of your organization. It also means the actual investor who has given his data to you, not the financial investor. Your customers, your partners, your vendors who have given their personal information to you for any purpose, right? And what if you have not done data mapping, their information is with you, past collected, and there is no reference, no consent also, they don't even know why are you retaining it with you, right? So data mapping is important, and every stage of mapping has to be linked with the assessments also. If you do it at the very first stage, your privacy journey becomes easier later. You might find initially that it's really tough, but it can become easier later. So that's about integrating the data mapping with your privacy impact assessments. In the next video, we are going to integrate them step by step. I hope you like the content of this video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.